Look where we're going. You guys ready?
Yes, ready.
Okay. So, guys, what I want to talk about today. So, I have my 35th high school reunion coming up. Obviously, I'm getting a lot
Wow.
of DMs. Yeah, I know. I'm getting a lot of DMs from former classmates about, what kind of gym should I join? Where should I go? The typical question. Flex, you probably get the same kind of things from people from your past. And it made me think a little bit more because I've been in this business literally since we got out of high school. So Bill Clinton, actually, no, George H.W. Bush was still the president when I got my first job in the health club industry. So I've been there, seen it all. There are a lot of pitfalls that we're going for. So today we're going to discuss the pros and cons of your gym membership, specifically things that you might be getting ripped off for you don't even know about, or things you should look for, some tricks that they might use on you to get you to join a gym that might not be the best fit for you.
Wow. Okay. So
Yeah, it's going to get heavy. So, guys, what should you know before you even join a gym?
Well, I recently joined another gym. I actually called it a gym versus what I've been a member of for about 10 years, which is I don't know if I should say the name on the thing, but I will for now. Lifetime. I call it a spa.
wow.
And all of them
Like
do it.
it's like a fitness social club.
Yeah, it costs it's almost it costs more than my first car on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
But it includes pickleball, tennis, indoor pool, um,
Locker room
outdoor
amenities.
pool, locker room, shower, shaving cream,
Mm-hmm.
uh, multiple saunas, um, you name it, rock climbing, all kind of rooms
Child
broken out.
care.
Child care. It has a place to come in for where you for dinner. It has a get your haircut done there.
That's a fitness social
Rest
club, man. That's
rest
a
your
place
mind.
where you go and don't even leave.
That's the goal. They want to keep you there.
Mm.
It's like social media. They want to get you on and keep you on. But it has everything. It even has a section if you want to work out outside, like the tires and all that kind of stuff. So it has. I mean, it's set up like if you want to come have a day with your family out by the pool, you can do that. Then they have the swimming classes inside. And they also have it where you just straight swimming for
Hey, I just want to ask you a question. Stop real quick. I noticed the recording just started over and it's only at 14 seconds right now.
I got 3 minutes.
I got 3 minutes as well.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Did you have a senior moment?
Huh? No, I'm looking at it. It's at 25, 26 seconds now.
Oh, I think we're good.
Okay. All right. All right. Sorry.
Johnny cut that part out. He's fine.
Yeah. Thanks,
Yeah,
John.
but it's everything. I mean, there's a segment of it where you go in and if you want to take your family to just hang out, you can do that. Then they have the section broken out if you want to be you're seriously training. It's
Mhm.
broken out, but it's definitely not something for those who are on a budget. I'm
Well,
on a budget. Don't get me wrong.
That's kind of where I want to stop you because that's my point. Where people don't. What is the main point for joining a gym? So in this case, my high school classmates, it's to lose some weight because they want to be presentable when they get to the high school reunions. They want to look different.
So every
So
10 years.
do they? Well, yeah. Well, hopefully it goes on past that. They want to get in shape. They want to exercise. Now, do all those other things necessary for the gym that they're looking to join? My answer would be no. If you need the base, you need three things in my mind. If your main goal is to get in shape, it needs to be open with all the lights and the utilities on. The equipment needs to work, and the plumbing needs to work, meaning that the showers, if they have showers, or the toilets and the water basins need to work. That's
not
it.
even a shower is a necessity of getting in
I
shape.
stopped myself there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I haven't taken a shower in a gym in probably a decade. Now, if I join a gym with showers, I'm paying for those showers, even if I don't use them. So it's something you need to keep in mind. My thing is figure out what your actual goal is. Now, this is hard because that could take another professional to help you out, figuring out what you need to do or what your actual goals are. But if your goal is, I need to get in shape, I'm not going to ever take classes. That gives you a narrowed down version of what you need to look for in a gym. If you're not going to swim, if you're not going to take classes, you said, if you're not going to take showers with using their shampoo and everything else, if you don't need towels,
Yeah, I like that, man.
You look for a gym that doesn't have all those things, because if you don't use those, they have them, you're paying for it in your dues.
So Q, let me ask you, out of all those things
I don't use
that your
none of
gym
them.
offered, how many of them did you use?
I go to the gym. I go to put my stuff in the locker, and then I grab a towels, go upstairs. I even bring my towels now because I don't like using the towels that somebody else use. I go upstairs, I work out, come back downstairs, get my stuff, and leave. I can tell you, I haven't been to the pool at the gym. Man, I don't even remember. I think my daughter was like, when she was taking, my daughter was taking swimming lessons back about 6-7 years ago. I think that's the last time I actually went to. Like my daughter, her and her mom will go for stuff. Before it's me, I don't have time. I mean, I'll go in. I do take showers there if I have to go straight to the office or something. But for the most part, and I only go at certain times because in the afternoon, forget it, man. It's just you can't get to the equipment. It seems like the morning time is the only time you can really have free reign within the gym.
And that's another thing. It's like, Greg, you would know this more. I have more of a street understanding of it, but when they're selling memberships, they're understanding that the majority of those members are never going to come because the gym would be over full and you'd never be able to get to your equipment.
Yep. That's the part where I really want to emphasize on this particular section of our talk today is figure out what you actually need, so you're not spending or going towards someone, because you're going to get inundated with a lot of marketing, especially if you go and hit the Google search, gyms in my area. They're going to put a whole bunch of stuff on there that has nothing to do with getting in shape, that is part of your membership as a differentiator to try to get you to join their gym over the other 5 gyms down the street. So they're going to add a lot of that other stuff you talked about. They're going to say, we have a pool. I don't swim. We have classes. I don't take classes. We have towels. I don't like to use other people's towels that someone wipe their ass with, So they're going to have all those things. We have mouthwash. We have shampoo. We have all these other things that have nothing to do with actual exercise. The one thing they're not putting on their marketing, you join here, you will get in shape. We will get you to your goals. I don't think I've ever seen that on anyone's marketing.
I don't believe they really want you to come there. I mean, that often. One thing I did notice about this is, it's like some of the I call them fitness clubs. It's like neighborhoods. They put a certain price tag on there because they don't want everybody to come. They only want possibly only want a certain group of people to come. It's like they put a price tag that a lot of people won't pay. That's why I kind of believe a person should maybe join like a basic gym first, just to show them that they will go. Because the first thing for me, go ahead.
I had noticed like there was like back in the 90s, it was about hard sweat boxes going in there and just banging. And then then you started having gyms that didn't want like the hardcore workout person there because
they
yell, they drop weight and stuff like that. And they'd literally be asked to leave, based on that thing. So you had like the whole like gym where you come and work out really hard change into more of a social club. They didn't want you yelling. They didn't want you training hard. They didn't want you sweating on the equipment. They didn't want you dropping weight. They'd say things like, well, if you can't control it, then you can't lift it. No, I did lift it. It's just like letting the weight down. That's when you're normally going to tear things and you just release it. So there was a trend where that started to change, like in the early 2000s, that I noticed that they would ask hardcore lifters to leave the gym.
Well, one of the things that's interesting now, all the gyms, and they'll say something to you about it. They have these spray bottles all over the place. So every time you use the machine, they want you to clean it.
Yeah. And I I can agree to that. I'm like, I'm a germ phobic. Like, I'm the type of guy, if I go in the bathroom, I'll wash my hands. I'll use a paper towel to open a door,
Yeah.
and then like use my foot to walk out of it, like the elevator. I don't touch things, like that. Even like money, money is one of the dirtiest and filthiest things, so I'm very aware of stuff like that. So I agree to having like, having to wipe your equipment off after you use it, especially in the times now where we're more like heightened with germ and COVID and stuff like that. I think that's a necessity today. We're back before. I think that's the reason why a lot of the leather tours, because people just didn't take care of it. They didn't wash their sweat off of it. So back in the 90s, there was a lot of torn leather on the equipment, and that was the reason why. So I get that.
So that gets expensive too.
So Greg,
What's
so
that, Greg?
right?
Just taking care of the equipment. I mean, people being generally respectful of the equipment, because again, everything is reflected in your monthly dues that you're paying. So the more damage the equipment gets when they have to replace things, that factors into the monthly dues.
So I'm one of your classmates. All you guys are in the 50s.
Oh,
now.
gotcha.
All you guys in the 50s now. So
Look
what
at
advice
you.
what advice are you giving them? Someone who hasn't been going to the gym. I mean, what advice are you giving them?
First off, where do I send my invoice if we're going to go over this big time? But just figuring out what your goal is. If your goal really is just to get in shape, you're not worried about those other things. All of our kids, for the most part, are grown now, so we don't need a childcare. Go looking for that facility specifically that they have whatever the equipment, free weights, whatever that you need for your specific workout, and what I hate Yelp, so I'm never going to tell someone to go look on Yelp about things, but maybe asking some of the members that are actually there what their operational system is like. Are they always open on time? Do they get things fixed on a regular basis when it goes down? That kind of thing. If everything else is good, if they're open on time, their equipment stays operational, the lights are on, and they have air conditioning, which is important for me. That's all I need. That's the gym I go to now. That's all they offer. There's no classes. There's no pool. There's nothing else. It's the bare minimum, and that's all I need.
Greg, I'll go even further than that.
Let's figure out.
I'll go even further than that. You have so many people who will go in a gym and they have no knowledge of no equipment, and they're lost, and they just walk around trying to look at other people, what they're doing, and they lose interest because they don't know what they're doing. So, you have to take a step even further and just being able to understand, biomechanics of how to train, how to properly lift, how to properly use equipment. And then to take it even a step further than that, I use an analogy like if you wash your car, that's going to the gym. And then you take your car and you immediately drive it through the mud, that's eating dirty. So you got to take it a step even further. Like, I mean, it's been proven that you can change your health and the way you look just by changing your diet. You know what I mean? So you have a lot of people who go to the gym and they train really hard and they never change because they don't understand about proper eating, proper nutrition. And, I got to say, that's one of the things that we offer with Flexible Development System. We cater to those type of things and we meet their needs. We ask them questions on their health. What are they trying to achieve? What equipment does a gym have in there? Or if they're training at home, that's another thing. What does their home have? What do they have? What kind of furniture? So we cater to those things. So it's so many more steps, to just going into the gym. I mean, a lot of us, we kind of know about training either through, like you said, Greg, of just since high school, me being a pro athlete, going to college and understanding that. But a lot of people just have never been to the gym. And you know what the truth is? That's really what gyms are seeking for. Those people who don't know anything about training or anything like that, and they're going to just be on a monthly fee where they pay, they're going to lose interest and stop going.
Well, I have been a member of Lifetime for quite a while. And
Are you still?
Yeah, I put him on pause because I'm going to other gym.
I was going to say,
I still am because it's not conveniently located for me right now. So I put it on pause, and at one point I had Fitness Connection, Planet Fitness, and EOS all at the same time. And be like, they're crazy. Well, it's about proximity. The different office spaces. I'll have one of those gyms close by, but the Lifetime wasn't close by. So I had basically for roughly $80, and my Lifetime is like dang near 4 times that. For $80, I had access to EOS, Planet Fitness, and Fitness Connection. And I would go because it was close. But for me to have to drive all the way back to my neighborhood and to go to the gym, I mean, I'm spending 45 extra minutes to an hour just in the drive versus walking out the door 10 minutes away. I'm at the gym, I work out, and I get my workout in while the traffic is bad. And then I could, go. I do more cardio in the afternoon. But it's the thing about going to the EOS Fitness. I've been there now a couple of months. Guys, for you guys going back, Greg, the guys going back, it's different, man. The gyms and the technology and the equipment in the gym is very different. One of the first things I did was when it got me an Apple Watch because I was measuring my heartbeat, trying to figure out, because I don't know. I felt like my heart was going to come out my chest. It's like I couldn't catch my breath. But now you can go there and you can stand on the machine, enter in your information. Now it's going to permanently track on every machine in that circuit how many you did, not just today, the weight that you used, and every time you go after that, you literally can see the data of what's happening, your performance on those machines. And anywhere I go, so it's tracking the entire workout. If I start out on the treadmill, my watch is synchronized to the treadmill, who recognize me as who I am. I go with the circuit, it recognizes who I am. It's like, and the machines are different.
Crazy.
There were things there I didn't know how to use, I'd never seen before.
That's crazy, but that's another trap. Just to be 100% honest, that's another gimmick that they use to get your dollars. Now, when I say
stop using it all,
is that something? Then we'd have to wonder, how did Flex ever get in shape without an Apple Watch back in the 90s?
It freaking wasted my time. I just started I still use my Apple Watch, but more so about my my heart rate.
Now, I'll never downplay. If this helps you, then that's a great thing.
It helps me because I stay within that heart range. So
right.
So I don't take too much.
That's the thing. Also, we're still at the before the gym portion right now. So this could be the sales presentation to the prospective member. They've come in the gym now. They said, what should you really expect versus what are they going to pile on top to say this is how much more. But there's that, it's like the infomercials. But there's more. But there's more with your $19.99. There's more, and that's the trick. So they're going to add something that you have to go buy an Apple Watch for, which not everybody has. So let's say if you don't have it, then you're going to go get that. But if you have it, it's something we're just adding more value onto something that you're not going to utilize for them. Most people are not like you and utilize these things.
Yeah, that's one thing I got to say, Q, is you're in a very small percentile of people who can have that many gym memberships. I mean, I remember, I drove an hour. I drove an hour to go to Jim Venice. And then I would drive either would be an hour to 3 hours driving back. And I did that twice a day. And it was just because that was a premier gym to go to. There are other gyms closer. There was a gym right down the street from me, but it just didn't offer that type of atmosphere that I wanted. So, when I listen to you, like, that's why I asked, after asking you how many of those
right now
additives that you use at Lifetime Fitness, and you saying like, only a small percentage. And then I was like, do you still have the membership? And you're like, well, I just put it on pause. I'm like, come on, man, that's like crazy. So I wonder, is it like a status type of thing that you would have that type of membership?
Actually, that's why I put that question up there, because I do know some people they flaunt the fact that they remember this country club, they remember this gym, because it is all, they put them in a different category. But for me, it was sheer convenience. But then take consideration, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't really waste a lot of money, I don't watch television, all that other kind of stuff. So for me, is the money that I would spend doing those kind of things, I spend it on access to the gym. And I don't know why I'm made this way. I don't like going to the same place all the time.
Wow.
And you did utilize the 3 separate gyms. You utilize
yeah.
them on a
Oh
regular
yeah,
basis.
because depending on
That's
where
a
my
different
office was.
situation. Yeah, because you'll get a lot of people in the gym industry. They think that they joined a 24-hour fitness. They did, they went for a couple days, they stopped going, they didn't get in shape, so they quit that. Then they think, all right, I'm gonna join Anytime Fitness. That's gonna be the difference. The new gym, that's what's gonna get me in shape. Same cycle goes on. They go for a couple weeks, they stop going, they quit. New Year's comes around again. I'm gonna join EOS. That's gonna be the difference. That's unfortunately the mindset that the majority of the people
Yeah,
have.
but I mean,
And then they trick them with again all this stuff.
the
You
gym.
got to even wonder, like what you're saying. That's because I used to train at EOS before, and I noticed that it started changing things. I haven't been there probably in 5 or 6 years, but you got to even wonder them having that type of equipment that syncs with an Apple Watch. Was there forethought with Apple helping create that equipment, knowing that it's a catch clause that's now that you have to have an Apple Watch to do that?
Yeah, but the thing of it is, I've had an Apple Watch for 10 years and had worn it once. It literally was still. I took it in to see if it was still. It was just literally sitting in a drawer because I just didn't like it. But the fact that my interest was different now because I was concerned. Remember, we had a conversation. My resting heart rate was 100, and when I saw that, it like really freaked me out. So now I started tracking it, and by tracking it, it made me more active. Just like I told you, I went in the gym and we defined what my goals are, which one of the things that Greg mentioned is, before you go into the gym is making sure you know your goals. But I knew my weight goal was. I messed around, got to a point to where I was doing shoulder shrugs, and that day, particular day, I was using 50 pounds. I picked up 150. I'm like, dang. I'm like, hold on. My goal is 52 pounds, and I'm feeling this 50-pound weight. I'm like, oh my God. This is what my organs is. This is what's on my heart. This is what's, I'm like, if you guys see this and you're thinking about going to the gym and say you want to lose 25 pounds, go to the gym or go to Walmart and pick up a 25-pound weight and just walk up and down the aisle. That's what your body is carrying extra every day. So for me, having the multi-gym memberships, I didn't care about status. I just try to put myself in the best position to be able to work out. And
But again, you're in a very small percentage
You're
that
not
can do
normal.
that.
You're not the normal.
No, you're not. You're not normal by no means.
I say that I am because people they do a lot of other things with their money.
That's
It's
true.
just what I choose to use my
That's
money.
true.
So I don't go out eat all the time. Well, I eat
That's
too
true.
much.
That's true.
But I don't do
We've
those.
even said that, like, people say that they can't afford to eat good, but how much do they go and spend on just coffee every morning or fast food every morning?
I'm gonna stop using these
Jordans,
people's names until they start, advertising on our channel. But this is a place I go to. I go 2 different directions, north and south. I pass. I will literally stop by now one of those meal preparation places and grab a couple of meals for that day. If I not at home, if I get hungry, the meals are like $8-9. What restaurant can you go to get a meal for $8-9? So I can even get 3 of those meals for that day and spend less than $30. And I go to when I go eat out at lunch, I'm $30 easy.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just how I
spend. A meal at McDonald's is pushing $10 now.
Yeah. So let's get back to that,
McDonald's,
Greg. What should you know before joining the gym? Like, what are some of the schemes and upsells that they use that we should be aware of?
Well, the things that we have already talked about that you should there's 3 things you should expect. And I keep going over those. I'm going to go over the entire show today, basically. But the doors open, the lights are on as advertised. The equipment works and the utilities work. So that means the electricity and the plumbing. That's all you should ever expect. What they're going to do when you sit down with the salesperson, they're going to add a whole bunch of stuff on there. 99 times out of 100, this is the big one. They're going to offer a free personal training session or a free orientation. Right off the bat, I will tell anybody out there, even if it's regardless of who the trainer is, what dollar amount, and this goes out to both of you, what dollar amount will you put on free?
The There's always a catch to it.
It's zero. Yeah, because
Yeah.
here's the thing. Q, let's say if I were to start a personal training situation with you, you have to have a orientation, right? I mean, we have to basically sit down and get to know you, where you've been, your goals, where you want to head, all that kind of stuff. That could take 30 to 40 minutes in and of itself. For me, it always does. Because if I don't know you, I can't plan for you. Then you have to have a physical assessment. That's at least an hour. That's before we even get started on you working out. So I'm just assessing how you move. I'm doing biometrics, taking measurements.
Yep. That thing you had to
From
stand
there,
up.
from there, I have a basic idea of what I could put together. But even then, that first 2 or 3 sessions, let's say I put squats on there. You talked about this earlier. The guy tried to get you to do squats. There were issues involved with that maybe you knew about it prior, but maybe we didn't know about it in this case. So I have to replan. So that first 2 weeks, I could still be reassessing you ongoing until we hit that sweet spot of this is the plan. This is for your next month. So to think you're going to fit that in a 1 half hour, 30, 45 minute session for free, which is $0 with a trainer, thinking you're going to get anything out of that, you're deluded at that point.
Well, that's a sore subject for me because of my recent experience. Don't get me wrong, I do like the of those 4 gyms I mentioned, I do like 2 of them. And I came out early in the year and worked out with Flex. He really pushed me. It's like, but I loved it. It was pain, but I listened to what he said, and he told me don't do these certain things. So understanding my personality, for me, the personal training was just so that I can make sure I showed up.
Accountability.
Yeah.
The big
But
red
then
flag
not
for
worth
me
the
is
money,
that
man.
you went straight into a workout day
The
one.
thing about it is, I was looking at the app. I was looking at Flex's app, and I was using that. And he just kept trying to even do the other things. All right. So I said, okay, I'll try it. First of all, he stood me up 3 times. In a 6-week time period, he stood me up 3 times. So what do you mean by stand up? Meaning that I was at the gym, did my warm up, and when the start time was go, he wasn't there. I get a text message, man, hey, I'm not gonna make it. That happened to me 3 times in a period of 6 weeks that he didn't show up. So all those testing things I did, standing on the machine with no shoes on, body fat, all that other kind of state. We went through all of my numbers and everything. So I'm excited about it. So I'm looking. And I'm now 2 months in. We ain't even talked about that thing anymore. And then it seemed like to me they just show up and he didn't have a plan. It's just whatever I feel like today. I mean, he hit me into doing these women's stuff like out of nowhere. I'm like, no, Flex gave me a leg workout. I'm gonna go do that. But it's really, how do you determine if you're getting your money's worth, or if you should you even start out with a personal training? Should you just go to make sure you're showing up?
Well, in bare minimum terms, yes. But first off, there's a bunch of red flags that showed up. The first one was that he had you do a full workout on the first day. It sounded like he didn't know who you were.
Yeah.
So that's red flag number 1. Red flag number 2, which is huge, no show with a text 3 times. That would be, what would you do if an employee did that to you?
Well, I don't even think. I think if you're training me, you should be there before I get there.
No, absolutely. But that's the thing is not showing up at all, period, without 24 hours notice. In my world, that's a free session. Like things happen. We always know things happen. You could have gotten a car accident, something along those lines. So there's things do happen, but there should be a business plan in place. But that goes back to what should you expect from a trainer that's probably getting paid minimum wage to service those free sessions or those introductory sessions. That person
you're paying for what you get, basically.
And this is my message. June 25th. What's today's date? The 2nd. So this is like a week ago. Morning. I won't make it coming in hot from Katie this morning. Go ahead and start pull for your day.
Coming in hot from what?
From Katy, Texas.
Oh.
Coming in hot.
Hey, he's a younger guy. I don't know what that means. I'm 56. He's 20.
But again, I mean, it's you're paying,
No, June 12th. Man, this is my 2nd day this week oversleeping. I'm rushing in now. Go ahead, get going. I'll be making in before you head out. Dude, I'm reading you my text messages.
So he's basically, I mean, I don't know if he's ever going to see this, but he is not a professional. plain and
Yeah.
simple. So,
But they
that's
killed it. And then I called the council. So that I couldn't get the person that the gym to actually answer. She said they said she's busy or she's with someone. I did it 3 or 4 times. So I called corporate, but they transferred me to corporate the last time. I was doing it at the airport when I was coming out there last week, Flex. And she said that the corporate office said they cannot cancel my personal training. They have to talk to the manager there. So I sent it. They said you can send an email and we'll send an email. I still haven't heard back.
which do you want to name the gym?
I've already named it.
Which one is it?
Is EOS, but you know what? But you know what? The gym is convenient. I like the gym. I do.
Yeah, no, that is a factor you should take into consideration when you're looking for a gym, right? I mean, Flex it was a completely different situation for Flex and Gold Gym Beds because that was his career also. Now, the average person, you're not going to drive more than 20 minutes, probably, I'd say. So locale is a big thing. But here's the other big red flag for me, for someone who has been in the business, who's worked for big corporations and locally owned. I've been an owner locally. I would never, ever, ever, I'm going to sound like Chris Tucker, ever recommend a corporate national gym. So we're talking the EOS. I'm talking 24-Hour Fitness. I'm talking Lifetime Fitness. I would never recommend someone give them even a single penny of their money because of what you just went through. That is the normal.
And he can't even cancel the session. He said that the manager has to cancel.
That's a lie. I can guarantee you that's a lie.
And seriously, guys, the thing about it is, I like the young man. You know, I could serve as a mentor and encourage him. I like him, but he's just not professional in the business. I like the gym. I like that it's only 1.8 miles from my house. I like all those things. I'm going to keep going. But you know, it's just the experience is not what I would have liked.
And I guarantee you're gonna find a lot more people had that same exact experience with EOS.
Yeah, and it's just the pay rate of what those trainers are getting. You know, I guarantee you, if they were high ticket items, they're going to be there. You know, and also it's, you know, when you think about a trainer, there's so many like online certifications now that they have that I mean, honestly, they're like a joke.
It's
You
not.
know,
It's
and
not
I
typical.
remember even going to EOS and seeing these people walk around with these shirts, and I can't stop laughing right now.
If you're
It
not
would say
fit, you
the
can't
back
train
of their
me.
shirts would say master trainer, and I'd be like, wow, what level is that? Must you be to be a master trainer? You know,
Oh God.
you know, and like
Black
Greg
belt.
said, those are just hook schemes, you know, that they offer. And I don't want to sound like I'm beating up, you know, these gyms, but it's just the truth. It's misleading. And I'd sit there and kind of watch them train people, and I you know, it's like, yeah, it's just different times, you know.
Yeah, but
It's
even
never
if
really
different
changed. So
times.
just to stop you on this one. It's never changed. So do you know what the one requirement the facility, the organization has to have that personal trainer on their payroll?
What?
Liability insurance.
That's it.
Notice I never say anything about experience or education. Liability insurance. They're 24-Hour Fitness. I'm this does not reflect LaQuentin Jenkins or Flex Wheeler. This is my opinion only. 30 years ago, 24-Hour Fitness and Mark Mastroff, the founder of 24-Hour Fitness, went out of his way with IHRSA, the International Health Racquet Sport Association, to make sure that there was no state licensing for personal trainers like there is for physical therapists, physical therapy assistants, or athletic trainers. Those you have to have a 4-year degree and then go sit and take a test through the state to be licensed. Why did they do that? Because now Mark can go and say, this personal trainer is on the floor. We're going to charge $100 a session for them. We're going to pay them $750. What do we pocket? $103 almost. So they can, the biggest requirement for them, they sold personal training. And if I'm only paying them commission only, which is that $750 off that $100, whatever, they can go out there. I can hire as many of them as I need to because it doesn't cost me a penny. They can either sell or they don't. If they don't sell, we get rid of them. They do, great. Doesn't matter if they can actually train anybody. That's
me, I don't mind paying for the personal training but first of all, you gotta look like you're in shape. At least look that way. And it actually the personal accountability of someone being there, it had value. It doesn't have a value for me now because I'm in rhythm. So it's like I'm waking up automatically now. My alarm clock, I'm waking up before the alarm clock now. But before then, man, I would come up with every single excuse. I'll do it. I would come with every single excuse. But now that I'm at the same time, throughout the week, and now I'm pushing up. I've been going like 3 to 4 days a week now because I want to see more results. It's a great time to do it in the summertime. I'm literally going to start going 5 or 6 days a week. I'm committed to 5, but I'm going to attempt to use more of my weekend, even if it's just getting a light jog or run or walk in, but making sure I get activity 6 days a week.
That's still great. I think Flex and I both agree.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, it took something to spur you on to want to do that. Like you said, you had that watch for years. That watch is the same watch and it offered the same thing, but it took you, your drive, your determination, and your consistency to apply that. That's the number one thing that gyms just can't offer.
No.
And
no one
can. The accountability, it has to start with you as a person, just wanting that, bad enough, and whatever that triggers that. Maybe it was a family death, or finding out that hereditary that your family has this disease, or yourself, just like realizing, again, it's really hard, like, just to get older, especially when you are a high-put pro athlete. You could do all these great things, and then you look in the mirror and you're like, wow, here I am 40 years later, and this is me, but you still have to have that drive and understand that I still need to get in shape, and it still starts with me as a person and wanting that.
Flex, all those things matter and they're important, but what really, because I've lost my mother, I've lost my sister, I've lost my friends. I mean, I've lost a lot of things. I lost my business partner, all this stuff in the last few years, but what really, this is the key factor. If you can share with your friends about choosing the key, and this is why 24-hour fitness has value. All those places have value at a certain level, beginning level. My friends changed. The people I hung out with changed. So I started, hanging out with Don and his wife, who always were exercising. Ken Jones, who owns the gym, and became friends with him in Houston. Yep. They're always there. Then I met you, and then I met Greg. Everybody around me exercising, and my belly just getting big. I'm like, oh hell no, oh hell no. I'm like, no way, brother, man. And then it kicked in. It was just my habit had changed. I hadn't focused on it. And Don sat down with me. He said, look, bro, you're a good guy, and you're a great father. He said, I don't want to have the conversation with your daughter as to why you are not here. I mean, he literally scheduled a breakfast with me, and he knew my pain point. I know his pain points. He knows my pain point. He said, I don't want to have to explain to her why you're not here. You got friends who are passing away, but you had gotten it, because I started going to work out. Ken was training me, and I was doing great. I mean, I was losing weight. I was doing great. But the issue with that, it takes me 45 minutes to get there, and then another 45 minutes to get back. By that time, I go to gym. Long story short, is being around people who were doing it.
Yeah.
We're talking about it.
Oh, that's a huge thing.
And that's what really created my change, is that I started spending time with people that were actually consistent.
So you're saying it wasn't even the deaths in your family knowing that? Wow.
It wasn't.
Well, that was his pain point to elicit it, but no.
Yeah, the thing that got me is the conversation that day with him about your daughter. And then then you had told me to get my blood work. And when I got my blood work and that, I'm like, oh man, And I know what it looks like because I deal with the senior population. You know, I do a lot in healthcare. And I'm like, this is a formula for, you know,
Well,
Disaster.
Flex, I know you're
Yeah.
blowing up our phone with those stats for a good day.
yeah. I mean, I still go. I'm like, geez, and even, man, picking up that 50-pound weight, man, and it's just, I mean, just if you're overweight at any level, I encourage you, whether you go to wherever that has weights, and literally pick up that weight within reason. Don't injure yourself, and just walk around a little bit with your weight, and then imagine yourself then go walk without it. The big difference. That 50-pound really killed me, man. I'm
And
like, dang.
I like your Walmart idea. Like next time you go to Costco, pick up a thing of rice or something. Instead of putting in your basket, carry that around your shoulder for the entire time you're shopping.
Yeah, dude, this I walked around with it. I'm like, dude, my heart is dealing with this. My kidneys, everything I have is dealing with this extra weight. My bones, my knees, my shoulders. I mean, because everything I think has a wear and tear, has a warranty. We all have a warranty, 30 mile,
Yeah.
30 mile,
Don't
30,000,
your
36,000
heart,
miles.
kidneys, your liver, your lungs, everything is working to
But
circulate.
guess
You know what? Even
you
more so,
overstop,
Q,
overuse it.
yours was your weight. There's so many people who like are not overweight but are unhealthy.
Yeah.
You know, again, that's why I just pound that into my clients. First thing is you got to go get blood work, because I need to understand the backgrounds of what your body's going through. I might put you on a certain diet or have you going through, you know, a certain type of rigorous training, not knowing that you have a preconditioned heart, you know, problem. There's a lot of athletes within the last 10 years in the health and fitness world that their trainer didn't know what they were going through, and they end up passing away, you know, because of that. So, you know, it's truly, it doesn't matter whether you're trying to get in shape or not. I just push getting your blood work done. It's just absolutely no way. Like you said, the young man, your business partner, he's in great shape, you know, but he has, you know, high blood pressure. You know, he's not overweight. It's no way of knowing that unless you go and get your blood work done. Even myself, I mean, I remember back when I was training, I didn't know it, but I had high blood pressure. I remember just getting crushing headaches when I would do legs. I would think I'm just going through a difficult leg workout. And, you know, a lot of times your body will get used to things, and you'll just get used to it, and you'll just continue
Right.
going on. Even now, I still you know, feel like doing that, where I know I need to go to a hospital because I feel a certain thing or I understand a certain thing. But you just gotta listen to your body, but then understand also you'll get used to it. You know, you'll get used to those headaches to where that headache isn't that bad anymore. But another person who got that headache would immediately go to the hospital or see a doctor about it. You know, so I just push that you have to get blood work done. You know, you consistently need to get, you know, checkups. How many people have found out that they had stage 4 or, you know, stage 3 cancer, you know, and
Yep.
didn't feel anything, or just felt a little
Well, you
knot?
don't. When you feel it, it's too late in those situations. So Greg, is that's part of your recommendation to your classmates, is before you even do anything, is as part of doing a part of what you should do before joining the gym is going and get your blood work, understand what your numbers are, so you understand
Not-
even what you should be doing.
Not specifically, but I always ask how often they see their physician. Do they do their yearly checkups? Because at our age now, that just comes with it, unfortunately or unfortunately. And that could be another whole conversation with do you have health insurance, which I'm sure we'll talk about at another point. But no, I don't tell them to do it directly, but I make sure that they go speak to the physician and then open up the door for me to speak to the physician if there's any issues that we need to discuss.
Well, here's the relation here, guys. At the bottom down below, there's a link where, you know, Flex is very passionate about healthcare. He has to use it to the maximum.
Wow.
Last decade of
Yeah.
his life. He's very adamant about health insurance. So in the link below, go ahead and check it out. There's a link below that allows you to put in some basic information, and see if we can what can be done to help you get health insurance now at an affordable rate, as well as we know we have the big beautiful bill that is still negotiating back and forth. We got to prepare for that. Providing that information for someone like Flex, who is very passionate about healthcare, it gives us the ability to help you in that space and not wait last minute. And now, as Flex, as I talk to him from time to time, as he's moving, his purpose in life has kind of changed. He really wants to serve. He really wants to help people live the best quality of life as possible. So, he's not an insurance broker or anything like that, but he's just partnered with some people that will allow you to get access to that health care so that you can, feel good about it. Because it's like, I remember it's like going to buy a car and you go in there, you don't have the best of credit. So you kind of like,
It always works out well.
Yeah.
You might get it, but the interest rate is not going to be that way. But I can tell you, since meeting Greg, Flex, Don, Ken, all these guys, I have confidence in my health. My blood pressure is down to 124 over 81. I'm 56 years young, even though that I'm, I can stand to lose some weight that I'm working on. I don't take any medication. Just from the short time of just, Flex giving me advice, Greg giving me advice on adjusting this, adjusting that, I feel good. I have no medication. I'm 56 years old, no meds. And as far as I know, I got to go to my colonoscopy. Everything else is fine. My PSA
Again, you're very, very rare. You're just in a different spectrum and
That's not the typical.
in a number of different ways, brother. In a number of different ways, man. So you're truly
I
blessed.
think I took after my mom, and I get plenty of sleep. I think that's probably one of my big drivers, is that I don't sleep as much as I used to, but I used to sleep. I sleep. I get my sleep.
Well, brother, that ain't it. Because I
Yeah,
no,
you got us
that
both
ain't
beat
it.
on that one.
I take naps throughout the day. No, you just, I mean, you're just blessed. You're just very unique. Most people at your age, they're already having to take medications. They've already had to deal with the illness and stuff like that. So just health wise, financially wise, your business savvy, everything. You're just. When we create programs and think of things, you're not one of the people that we're considering, and you're not.
It's
not
where I
who
got
we're
like you,
marketing
man.
towards.
It's everything in my life has come because of the people. I consider both of you to be good friends. And I told you, I'm like, Flex, Greg, you don't find friends like Greg often.
No.
You don't find friends like Greg often. Because Greg is a guy that has your back, your front, your side. You do whatever he can to support you. That's the way I feel like my friends, is I have these guys that care about me. I have these guys that call me, check on me. If I don't answer a phone call or two, don't make me kick you. So, but it's the relationships, whether it's business, whether it's like this. Our whole thing is, with the gym, with the healthcare, with health. I mean, I consider that you guys are literally saving my life. That's the way I see it.
It's true.
You're saving my life by, even for me having a conversation about the gym. I mean, all that stuff matters. I mean, that was the conversations from coming to Vegas, learning more about your life. And then how can I say, looking at the challenges you have in your life now, and you still working out, how in the heck can I say, oh, I can't work out? I remember I was walking, you told me, he's like, man, you walked 3.5 miles and,
dude,
and you was like, you would kill to be able to do that.
Jeez, man. Yeah, it's just things we just take for granted. We're, as human beings, that's just the way we're designed. We take things for granted, yeah, definitely.
Well, I would actually
I like this topic.
So I've gone through the process of, I'm constantly getting information from Flex, from Greg, Don, Ken. But when you join in a gym, when I was a member of Ken's gym, getting out, I didn't even care that what I was paying, because I considered him to be a friend. But getting out of these contracts. So I had a situation where it was with 24 hour. It was Gold's Gym. Okay, it was Gold's Gym. All right, I was already past my term of 2 years. Okay, I was past my term of 2 years. I still had Lifetime Fitness, and I had Gold's Gym. But Gold's Gym was like 5 minutes away, and so it ended. But it was right when the pandemic started. So I went up to to go to the gym. The gym is closed. Nobody answering the phone. Voice message is full. So I slid a note under the door saying I want to cancel my membership because I'm not going to keep paying you and we can't even go to the gym. I didn't turn around and call corporate, right? I called corporate and said, hey, well, the thing that a lot of people don't understand, and I didn't understand, and maybe you guys can speak to it, just because it's these gyms, they have corporate ownership and they have individual franchises and they operate differently.
Mhm.
So even though I called the corporate office, she didn't tell me that talking to them doesn't do it. It has to be in writing. Nobody was answering the phone. So I got a collection sent to me months later, saying that I owe them $243. I'm like, I said a few interesting words, but I'm like, I put a note on your door, call you guys, didn't answer. And I had to literally fight. Here I am, I'm like, look, the lady called me from the collection agency, and this is a big deal. Gym memberships and your collections and that kind of stuff is a big deal. So look, lady, look at my credit report, and all this stuff is good. And you see this $243. Do you not think that I would not pay that, even if I the amount of time I'm spending dealing with it? So I fought that crap for I don't know how long, but it matters. So even canceling your contract or adjustment. So I don't know. Did you guys ever read a contract? Look at a contract?
I've written contracts. So yeah. No, that's the one thing I will always tell every single person, because they're going to have you initial certain parts of it as well. So, you sign the front and then you'll initial parts specific in the back that they've had issues with, like probably their cancellation policy. So that you're insinuating that you understand it. So later you come back, you say you didn't, we have your signature here. But you have to read the contract, specifically your billing dates, so you know when those are, and the cancellation policy, whether it has to be in writing, sent somewhere else, done in the gym by a certain date to have it canceled for a certain date. You need to understand those things, what charges are for. So just going back to it, another 3 things you need to understand before you join the gym. First off, you're going to have a decent understanding of your monthly dues, what that's going for, what it is. Do increases go through on a semi-regular basis, whatever? There's going to be an initiation fee of some sort, for the most part. They might waive it to try to get you to join that day. Don't ever fall for we'll waive the initiation for you today, but if you don't come back today and join, then we're going to charge it for you next time. They'll always waive it. And then there's typically an annual fee that a lot of gyms will tack on. Now, a lot of people say, why am I paying an initiation fee? You don't really need it. Why this annual fee? I will disagree on this 1 cent on the side of the organization. Your monthly fees, we term those as EFT, electronic funds transfer. We call that the lifeblood of the gym. What that is there to do is keep the gym alive, keep the doors open, all the things you should require. Keep the doors open, the equipment working, the utilities on. That's all it does. Now, if you want new equipment, if you want the floor to be redone every so often, the carpets shampooed, new equipment coming in, anything brand new, that is your initiation fees. That's what it goes to pay for typically. Or upkeep, that's your annual fees. So don't throw a big fit about those things. If you don't want to pay them, try to find something cheaper. But those will be in the contract as well. So you need to look to see when those are charged, so you don't have a phantom charge in August. Like my gym I go to now, they charge an annual $70 fee every August on the 15th. I know that that's going to come out that day. Some people, again, working from the other side, might not have enough in their checking account. You get that insufficient fund requirement that comes through. So those are the things you need to know. You do need to read the contract front and back. You don't have to be an attorney to
never read a single word of the contract. Matter of fact, if I had to tell you a single word they said to me, I probably wouldn't remember.
That's the majority of people. I mean, the majority of people, I mean, even like with your iPhone, it being updated, you have to click on there. Who reads that? But you're clicking on there, and a lot of times you're releasing, information that you're just not aware of. But that's just the world that we live in. I mean, I got to be honest. I mean, like the houses that I bought, I
I
don't
was just thinking
understand
the
the
same.
language. I don't
Yeah,
understand
I
the
was
language in those
all right.
contracts, but you sign off on it, not being aware fully. That's how businesses operate. They make contracts so with these words and so long that you normally just give in and just go ahead and put your signature there. Or like Greg said, it's even more specific when they ask that you put your initials because you're initially that you actually understood this very small part in the contract. That's what they get you. And I think probably over 60% or more people just don't read or don't even understand that lingo, but you move forward and initial or sign off on it anyway.
Well,
Right.
I had a question. And guys, don't get us wrong. We're talking about these issues as they
I
occur.
love it when they start that way.
I value. I mean, I value all these various places, where it's the Orange, whether it's Planet Fitness, EOS, all of these places, 24-hour fitness, they all have great value if you understand what it's for. I know me personally, the gym is really more is about accountability and creating a relationship where you're working with people who have a similar desire. You're working out, you're in a space where you're more likely to do something for your health versus sitting on a couch. So they do have value as long as you understand what it is you're getting. So it is great. But the thing I have a question about is, I tend to think that maybe, what is the value for some initially when you're first getting started, Greg or Flex, whichever one, working out at a gym versus home, and particularly when you first start. I'm being honest, I have all kind of weights in the garage, but guess what I do? I walk straight past them and go straight to the gym.
I mean, training at home just takes such a different type of dedication, a different type of person, and even more so, I think, companies who sell home equipment, they understand that majority of those people are not going to use it.
Nope.
Treadmills and stuff like that, they end up being where you throw your clothes on, or it's in a garage, catching, linen and mice and stuff like that. But it just takes a different drive, a different type of accountability. They're self independent and doing that. Like you said, going to the gym, it's accountability. It's seeing other people who are getting at it that motivates you. But training at home, that's just different, man. Like you said, most people just walk right past it. I don't know. And it's everything new. I remember like when the Bow Fitness came out, and now they actually look at Greg, and now they actually have
No,
these
sorry, I couldn't. My mind.
these AI machines where it talks to you and works out with you and all that stuff. I mean, I think later on it's going to just have equipment that you just sit there and it just moves the body and muscle. That's what we're going to. But it's a huge accountability and just independent person who can do that. I honestly can't even do that. I have equipment in my garage, and then very seldom, do I use it. My wife more so will use it than I do,
I think
because
women are a little bit better at that piece than men, because they have maybe their psyche of, I don't know, they may be a little bit better than that. 'Cause I know Q, she does that. She'll religiously do it, and I'm like,
yeah, same with my wife. She'll go out and train. I mean, even Greg, he has videos of where he's training at, in his garage. He's doing squats, and his wife are doing full workouts, but majority of the time they probably go to a gym, and pay money for that same service that they have that equipment in their garage.
I think it's the mindset, because even for me, a lot of people like to work at home. I do work at home sometimes, but for me, it's a regimen. I have to get up, get dressed, and go to the office. I do not want to work out I don't want to work from home all the time. I need that separation
Well,
for me.
that too. I mean, I mean, for my purposes, and Flex knows I've been a professional athlete for a while now. I still technically am if I ever get on stage, but I have a little bit more requirements for what I need to do versus what I can do in my garage gym. Now, there are a couple people, I'll throw her name out there, Jen, one of my classmates from high school. She asked, she runs her own business. She doesn't have a lot of time. She has kids. Can I do it at home? Absolutely. If everything was equal and you're just looking to get in shape and be healthier, lose some pounds, you can get it done. You don't have to join a gym. It can be done at home with a few dumbbells and the right nutrition. So in her case, if she's going to do it, if I asked her, are you committing to this? Are you actually going to put your 2 to 3, 4 times a week in your garage working out? She said yes. In that case, if she follows through, she can absolutely make a big change from doing nothing to doing this for the next couple of months.
It's just those levels up where you need more specific equipment. You know, when you like you said, I mean, a person who hasn't done anything, just them getting up and walking around a block is going to do wonders for them. But a person who's used to doing things or working out, no, it's going to have to be leveling up on doing that. So the difference between a person who's non-active and a pro athlete, we just need and acquire different type of energy around us, different type of equipment, different type of mindset. So there's a vast difference between the two.
I tell you what,
talking a few weights. I mean, our garage gym is a full squat rack with 500 pounds in plates because there's 5 of us that work out in there intermittently. So, and Flex will assert to this that we're all, I mean, my daughters are all what I would consider elite level athletes. So they need a little bit more.
Well, I'm a guy. You guys haven't noticed.
I'm hoping so. I got to be careful in saying that. I'm glad that you stated that you are.
There's sometimes there's some other things in the gym that can motivate you.
I knew he was going there.
Motivate you is
that's why he wanted the pools.
Motivate you as well. It's like, man, because the thing about it is you just be real.
We're visual.
We're visual creatures, and
we're visual.
And I ain't like that. Sometimes that motivates me. Sometimes, it's not on a regular because I'm really focused on what I'm doing. But sometimes it'd be like, man, let me go get back on this. it motivates, and then seeing other guys that are in shape.
Yeah, I can attest to that. I mean, even though I did things at a high level,
Gold's Venice, yeah.
I mean, just even I get inspired now. I always have. I get inspired just by people just going at it. They can be super out of shape, but they're in there just going at it. That inspires me. That makes me look at myself and like, man, you need to get at it. Or it can just be a skinny person or a person who just don't know anything at all, but they're trying really hard. That inspires me. I can look at a 4-year-old and get inspired, so it doesn't take that much to inspire me, especially now that I'm older, understanding that it takes very little to inspire me. I mean, I get tremendously inspired when I go to gym and just seeing people training hard. They can not even be pro athletes or just in there just trying to get in shape, and that'll just make me like, damn, let me step my game up.
That was the interesting thing. This happened about 2 weeks ago at the gym that I thought was, it really inspired me. And I actually went over and encouraged them and gave them a high five and said, good job, because that's what I felt. There was these group of ladies, and they were not in shape, just put it that way. They were pretty good sized women, and they were really trying. Man, it was, it was kind of obvious because I see them at the same time that, I heard them talking one time. They come early in the morning because they can't come they don't want to come in the afternoon because, they're not comfortable. So they come really early in the morning. It was like 4 or 5 of them, making small steps, but they show up giving everything they got every single day. And a part of me even going there, is I adjusted because I was going at 5:30. I adjusted back just so I could see them in the gym in the morning as a motivational, because I mean, it's a struggle. I mean, one lady, it's just a struggle for her to just even, to really move. But you know what? She keeps showing up every freaking time. I mean, so I've seen them in there, the lady literally crying,
Mm.
you know, but just to see that inspiration, you know, they're committed. They're committed. So then again, those, you know, depending on where you are health wise, I'm a big believer in the gym. And you know, a $10 to $15 Planet Fitness is the perfect thing for some people. The $24 or $30 is the perfect thing for some of the other places that's what it is. Because for me, the biggest thing was just if I could just get back to my rhythm, my habit, just get back. And I don't know what is this is off topic, but what is happening? My body starts to twitch. It starts to crave the workout at a certain time of day. It's like the time I just something to me just like I want to go work out. I want to go work out. It's not even a mental thing. It's just my body feels like it just wants to move. And now it's like the same times of day. It's like my body just feel like my body just want to go work out. Is that crazy or just
No, you've been indoctrinated. And that's a good indoctrination, but you've become part of that. It's become a habit for you.
Yeah. You know, it's yeah,
That's a good thing.
I often use this analogy like a thermostat in a house. When you're out of shape, you just tend to stay out of shape. But when you set that thermostat at a certain temperature, it inspires you. It kicks back on. That heater kicks back on when it gets to a certain amount, or the air conditioner kicks back on. So now you're actually inspired to where before it was just hard just to get in the gym. You know, now you're just driven and want to. So those are just levels that you're leveling up on. That's just that's great to hear. Because before, how long? Like I said, with that Apple Watch, it still could have did all those things for you, you know, but you just weren't inspired to use it. Now you literally go to a gym because it inspires you that watch is going to trigger you to have a bigger workout. So again, whatever it is, if it's going to the gym because you know there's certain people you're going to see, whether they're in shape or not, whether
depends
it's
on the day of
just
the week it is?
that energy at the very beginning, whatever it takes to get you there. Because I've always said the hardest part is just getting up and getting there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially for me now, the hardest part is just getting up and getting into the gym. Once I get there, I'll do something, but that's just the hardest part. And you know, even myself, being at a high level, I'll be driving to the gym, and my mind is like, "Dude, turn around, and go back home." You know, you don't have to work out. You know,
All the way up to parking your car.
even walking in the gym. I mean, I walk in the gym now and I get conscious because I see people in there going at it, and I'm like, I only can do this. I only have one leg. There's certain machines I just can't do. I have shoulder problems, so I can't use a lot of weight. You know, so even at my level, you know, it's whether it inspires you or not, where there can be somebody else who's done everything that I've done and have my weaknesses too, but that inspires them to go into the gym. So it's just your mind frame and what you allow to inspire you or not, you know. And when I say that, then we're all equal because we all are struggling. Even at my highest level that I competed, I still struggled with certain things. Therefore, we're equal. The same person who couldn't get in the gym, they're struggling. So we're all struggling with something, and we have to be very conscious of that. And looking at another person saying, "Man, I wish I was them. I wish I could do them." You got to be really careful when you ask for those things.
Yeah, you don't know what you're going through. So let me ask you this: tell me about the Flex Wheeler development system.
It's you know it's just new technology, just like you're saying that watch that you have in equipment. It's just new technology that we have, where I've done like a number of different videos, and in the gym and at home, where it assesses and it shows you like how to do those things. We use, like, I wouldn't say exactly AI technology, but we have the ability where you can go in and you can enter your health problems and it'll spit out certain diets that's best for you. So it does a lot of the hard work. Like back in my days where we used to joke like, man, we have to put on our little white coat and be our own doctor, and we will be scientists trying on ourselves, where technology now, it does it for it. So you don't have to worry about, how do I work out? What do I have in the gym? How much time should I spend? When should I eat? What should I eat? Is that good for me? Is not good for me? I have this health condition. I have that health condition, where it figures all those things out for you. And it has accountability, where it's going to track you. If you don't enter certain information, it's going to kick back a response for you to actually respond. So it has that ability where it keeps you accountable in certain situations. So I really, and it's very affordable compared to like hiring me one-on-one, where that's going to cost you quite a bit of money a month. This is a very reasonable price, where you get so much more than you would just from me paying a certain amount a month.
Well, it's like you said, you get what you pay for, right?
Truly.
Yeah, I will push back. This is basically an AI Flex, is the program. So we put all his information into the programming side of things, into the coding. And so basically what you're getting, any information you put in there, you're getting what Flex would do with it on an AI basis. So that's why it's so affordable. It's not Flex having point blank. It's not Flex on the other side of the phone, but it's an AI version of Flex spitting answers back to you as the questions go in. So you start off with a full assessment, put all your information in, your goals, where you're starting from, everything else. And then from that, it takes that information and puts together both a workout nutrition program and also deals with mental health aspects.
Hey guys, Jay, now I've mentioned this guy's to Flex a few times, and he's a little bit reluctant about it. But in the comments downstairs, take a look at this. I'm the kind of guy, and I think there's many people like me. I would go and spend money to spend time with Flex, learning about nutrition, learning about pre-workout, post-workout, the correct way to do exercises. Like, I was fortunate to be able to go even just a leg. I keep saying leg. I don't know why I like the leg portion, because one, that's the first thing he did with me, but it just energized my whole body, and I really liked it. But give us some feedback. I personally would, and I've talked to a few people about it, would spend money for someone like Flex, who knows backwards and forwards and have lived it, to receive specialized training. It's not just that, it's the mindset. It's understanding. For example, when I was working out with him, he would show me how to adjust my stance. Even on the leg presses, he would he said, move your feet back a little bit more, adjust your angle a little bit. And this is what the crazy thing is, he was telling me these things, I noticed a difference in the pressure and the way it felt on my body. Like, for example, we were alternating how my feet were pointed and adjusting how I turned my legs, even on the leg extensions. And based upon how I turned and angled, what he did, then he would tell you, I felt it differently. Then he said, okay, slow it down. So he helped me find a rhythm also, where you just like, because he was like, when you get tired, you can try to go fast. He's like, nope, no, because, I didn't know that was bad. For me, the further I go, I started getting faster and faster trying to get through the burn. He's tried to, show me, keep the consistent pace. So it just having that time of spending with somebody, because you're also getting an energy, like, you don't pay a lawyer for the service he's providing at that time. You're paying that professional to cut out all that time you spend trying to figure it out. So he gave me the ability to really feel, the overall strength. So even when I'm walking, I feel differently just walking because of those exercises. Now, I would admit, we're gonna have the video up here pretty soon. My guys are working on it. Don't laugh at the pain you saw on my face. And I could not get it. I did not make it to the lunges. I can comfortably do lunges now, but man, by the time we finished those, I thought I was just gonna do leg presses, just generally. But then a machine I'd never used before again. So, a lot of Greg's friends who haven't been in the gym in a while, the equipment has changed. So he pulled his pin, and now after we did, I don't remember, 3 or 4 sets of leg presses, he freaking separated the machine and then had me do one leg at a time. I had never done that before.
Not everybody has that leg press.
They have it at the one of the gyms I mentioned, but then
Yeah, Dragon Layers. Yeah.
and then he's like, okay, you're done. I'm like, no, I want to try the lunges. Man, please. I went down and fell over. There was no pressing up from that. But yeah, guys, think about that. I mean, I think there's value for high performance athletes. You're not just transferring knowledge, you're transferring an energy, you're transferring a mindset that can transfer. And really, for me, this changed my life from the sense of feeling healthy, numbers are good, and just being conscious about my health. So if they want to follow, if they want to get in contact with you, Greg, and guys, Greg is has a master's in kinesiology. So he's not just you can see the passion of what he feels about gyms, but he understands and knows the body, and him and Flex are partnered together in that, understanding the movement, the science behind it, the mindset, the nutrition. It's all in one place. So if you guys want to connect with Flex and Greg, there's some of the channels there you can see. If you're watching this, you can press pause. I know it's going kind of fast. You can press pause. But follow them on the social media. Greg has a pretty powerful. I was amazed when I was watching Greg's Instagram. I'm like, who is this guy? He has some really cool Instagrams. Greg, what is your Instagram?
Just my name, Greg Nagai.
Okay, so we're going to 1 second.
I know on the other screen it shows up at the bottom. But if they want to get a hold of us on the Flex Wheeler DS website, that one right there is a contact us link as well.
Okay. And guys, coming up in the future, we'll be talking about quite a few subjects. We are talking about weight loss. We are talking about TRT, testosterone replacement treatment. I didn't even know what it was. We're talking about high blood pressure. We'll be talking about
ED medication.
Next week is ED medication. And I want to try some of that. With my life situation changed, just for the heck of it. And then and also we're going to talk about, the performance enhancement medication. One of the things I've learned from these guys is I didn't realize that parents are putting their kids, they're putting their kids on these medications. That is,
yeah, that's life changing, because it just
literally,
yeah, that's a whole incredible different conversation. Yeah, you're really setting your child up for failure when you do that.
I find that pretty. I don't know. I mean, because when it comes to me and medication, guys, I'm anti anything. I'm scared of needles. I still have to turn my head when they stick me. But I just don't. For me, I don't want to do anything that's going to create this image in my child's head that a needle or a medication is a solution.
That's going to be an interesting topic, definitely.
That's a nuanced conversation right there alone.
Yeah. So, guys, we look forward to speaking with you more in the future. At Flex for Life, as we continue to engage how to live a healthy life. And I want you to be at your best health, no matter what your age is, being the best you can possibly be. God bless you, and thank you for attending today. Look forward to speaking with you in the future. So we got to stay on for a couple of minutes.